Today, we're going to be talking about one-step equations. The whole idea with equations with variables is that there's often an unknown number or quantity, and that is represented often using a letter. In this case, we have C. First, I always like to identify the side with the letter. In this case, it's the left-hand side. And what you want to do is you want to isolate the letter or variable. And so I like to kind of think about what are we doing to the variable. So in this case, we are adding 3. So we are adding. So we identify what we are doing. In this case, we're adding. We want to undo these operations so we can isolate the variable. What is the opposite of addition? Well, it's subtraction, right? What are we doing to the C here? We're adding 3. What's the opposite of adding 3? It's subtracting 3. And so the whole idea is we're going to subtract 3 on the left-hand side, but you must remember that whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side as well. And you'll notice that this part just cancels out to be 0. So you have C equals 16 minus 3, which in this case is 13. And you can, again, check your answer by plugging in 13 back. 13 plus 3 is indeed 16. That is our answer. Here's another problem. Notice how the variable is now on the right-hand side of the equation. What are we doing to the variable? Well, we're subtracting 13. Okay, what is the opposite of subtraction? Well, it's addition. What are we subtracting by? 13. So the opposite of subtracting 13 is adding 13. So we're going to add 13 to both sides. And you'll notice this part cancels out to be 0. So you end up with 32 plus 13, which is 45. And we get h is equal to 45. And again, we can plug this in back into our original equation and check. "32 plus 45 plus 13. And indeed, 45 minus 13 is 32. Here's another problem. Notice how the variable is now on the left-hand side of the equation. What are we doing with the variable? Well, whenever you see a number with a variable next to it, that means multiplication. So in this case, we're multiplying m by 3. What is the opposite of multiplication? Well, it's division. Okay. What are we doing to the m? We're multiplying by 3. What is the opposite of multiplying by 3? Well, it's dividing by 3. So we are going to divide both sides by 3. This cancels out to be 1, so you just have an m equals 18 divided by 3 is 6. And we can plug this in, our answer, into our original equation. 3 times 6 is indeed 18. Here's another problem. Notice how the variable is now on the right-hand side of the equation. And whenever you see like a horizontal line like this means division. So this means y divided by 3. So what are we doing to the y? We're dividing. What is the opposite of division? It's multiplication. What are we dividing by? Well, we're dividing y by 3. So the opposite of dividing by 3 would be multiplying by 3. And so that's what we're going to do to both sides. We're going to multiply 7 by 3 over side by 3. And you might notice that 3 divided by 3 here just cancels out to be 1. So we have 7 times 3, which is 21. And so we get y equals 21. And again, you can check this answer by plugging it back in into our original equation. Indeed, 21 divided by 3 is 7.